So basically every word I say today, in my humble opinion, is noteworthy. I'm not trying to stress you out, but it's a lot to do today, so please take out 9.6 and copy the stuff behind me. We will only have about 5 minutes for all of that, and then I'm just going to start screaming for the other 50 minutes. Go. I didn't know. Hey boys, can you please stop talking? I'm happy if you don't need these, but I fear that some students may need to learn today, so please stop interrupting. Sorry, I'm showing up. points are the yeah, of course. Sorry, but couldn't help. Let's call it another 1 minute, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty. Or maybe we can ask Peter about what's going on in Houston on his own. The first thing I need to do is make sure that we finished our 9.3 on yesterday. Did we talk about kooky ideas for addressing?
We started with roof.
Okay. Did I mention the last one about painting roofs white?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So that was the whole thing. I want to thank you guys for playing along with my observation yesterday. I haven't heard how it turned out. The administrators hate to see teachers who lecture all day, and obviously I lecture every day all day, or most days. So I'm not sure if they're going to be happy, but I was very pleased by your work yesterday. Thank you again. Today we get into assignment 9.4. And before we do anything else with this assignment, I want you to write this at the top of your paper, because there's one little piece of information that I think most of us would not think about, that says chemistry happens. And until I started teaching this class, really, I thought of air pollution as the stuff we put into the air. And now I realize that that's actually a two-way street. Because when we put stuff into the air, something else happens. The air changes that stuff and makes new pollution. We don't add all of the air pollution. A lot of times, we just add the ingredients, and our planet turns it into pollution. You know, if you're sitting right next to a coal fire, that's not as deadly as being downwind from that fire after stuff's happened in the atmosphere. Like, a lot of our pollution is, maybe bad. And if you give it a little while to be in the atmosphere, it gets deadlier. Our atmosphere has all the ingredients plus all the energy to turn our air pollutants into new and often worse air pollutants. So, for example, your car doesn't make smog. Your car gives off the ingredients that in the atmosphere will react to become deadlier and the smog will kill you, but that didn't come out of your car. That came out of the atmosphere after you threw out the ingredients. The atmosphere is like an unpredictable chef. And he would go, here, have some flour. Here, have some eggs. See what you can do with that. And that wacky chef will be like, okay, here's some pancakes, or okay, here's some French toast, or okay, here's some smog. I find that most people, including the public and most of my students, will forget that chemistry happens. So we don't need to make all the pollution. Sometimes we can do a lot of harm just by shuffling the ingredients. And out of that, reactions will make other pollution. Is this clear? It is another way to think about the atmosphere. It's not just an empty reservoir into which we pour pollutants. It is an unpredictable chemical landscape where we are changing the ingredients. Okay. So before we do study goals, can I help anybody with vocabulary on 9.4? I'm feeling helpful, but you ain't asking me nothing. Going once. Going twice. What is the makeup of photochemical smog? The scariest thing about it is the oxidants. There are two different types of smog, as I think you realize. The scary thing about the sulfurous is basically sulfuric acid, which is pretty nasty on its own. But photochemical smog has oxidants like ozone and peroxyacetyl nitrate, and those tend to be the most dangerous. The makeup is basically oxidants, to a lesser degree nitric acid and other acids. Carbon monoxide a little bit. So the scary part is the oxide.
What's the main reason that type forms in LA, whereas sulfur is?
Because of the ingredients that we throw up, we're going to get a different set of products out. So because they're made out of different ingredients, we get different outcomes. And I'll explain the differences in their chemistry when we get to that study goal. What else? Other vocab? Okay, that was easy. I need to get the party started with number 26. Boy, are you glad you were not living in London 1952, because at that time, we did not really think about chemistry happening in the atmosphere.